I come in, sir?
Please.
Very good morning, sir. Very good morning, sir.
Please take seat. Himanshu,
Yes, sir. Thank you, sir.
you are from Gurgaon, huh?
Yes, sir.
Originally
Currently.
from Bihar.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, Himanshu, tell about yourself.
So I hail from Bhagalpur, Bihar, which is also known as Silk City. I have
Okay.
done my basic schooling from there only. Moved to Ranchi for further
Okay,
12th.
Little louder.
Yes, sir. After my 12th, I had interest in engineering, so I decided to do my engineering. I cleared the IIT JEE exam and have done my engineering in chemical engineering from RGIPT. After that, I started working in Reliance as in B2B sales, where I was managing the polymer sales of the entire Kolkata region from end-to-end supply chain. If the customers had any query regarding technical knowledge also, they used to reach out to me. After that, I had interaction with business leaders, so I decided to know the strategic side of the industry and decided to do MBA. So I have done my MBA from IIM Lucknow, and there I got the chance to intern with EY, and I got the pre-placement offer from EY. I started working in EY as a full-time consultant since August 2024. I have been working in technology sector, where I have been helping IT firms to improve their profitability over the time. So this is my all about me.
Your package in Ernst Young was more than Reliance. Why you have left?
So I have left Reliance to work in EY, sir, basically.
At present,
Okay,
at present he is in EY.
Okay. Now you are working with Ernst
Yes, correct, sir.
Young LLP. Okay. What are your achievement in Reliance?
So in Reliance, I was managed to increase the sales of the entire territory by 20% in my tenure. So that was the biggest achievement. Also, I increased the business of the Reliance with their largest customers by 15% in the region.
What are your responsibility in Ernst Young?
So my responsibility is I had to interact end to end with the clients, and I helped to them to focus on certain levers through which I can optimize manpower cost. There are certain KPIs through which we do that, and my responsibility is to maintain that KPI, to interact with the client on day-to-day basis and suggest them what changes we can bring so that they can do that effectively.
Okay. How your services could be better utilized in RBI?
So
You are having so much technical knowledge.
yes, sir. So in my BTech, I developed my analytical skill, and from IIM Lucknow and EY, I knew the strategic side of the industry. Also, in my work currently in EY, I have to work on a lot of data points. So currently, I'm working on a lot of data points from data-driven decision making I'm doing. So in RBI, in recently one of the speeches by the Mr. Governor sir, so he told that data is something which we can utilize to further regulate the banking. So I can my knowledge and my background can be leveraged in this field. I can make a dashboard through which we can track everything and in the real time using the data.
What is difference between board of director and management?
I'm not very much clear about this. I have partial knowledge. If you will allow, I can go on.
Yes.
So board of directors are the people who are responsible for the overall decision making for the betterment of the organization. They appoint CEO of the
Right.
company and upper management,
Okay.
or where management decide how the company should run on day-to-day basis.
Okay.
They look after the things like profitability and revenue part of the company.
That is the correct answer. Correct.
Yes, sir.
So have a confidence
Okay, sir.
while speaking. Correct.
Yes, sir.
You are from IIM, and RBI has a lot of expectation from persons like you.
Yes, sir.
Correct. What are principles of management?
Principle of management, one of the principal, oldest principle is Henry Foyle principle of management. This is
Okay.
the oldest one, in which he see organization in a typical bureaucratic structure, there should be an hierarchy of things to do certain things.
Right.
And after that there come the latest ones, which I'm not able to recall right now. I will have to go through
Lloyd
that
has
again.
described, I think, 11.
Yes, sir. 11
Oh.
principles.
Uh,
So I can go through some of them, like division of work was one of the thing, and I'm not able to recall, sir, right
okay,
now.
Okay. What are principle of marketing?
So principle of marketing in terms of, sir, can you further elaborate?
In terms of extending your customer base.
Okay. So in terms of extending customer base, we should focus on like product. First of all, our product should be from the perspective of customer, how the customer want that. Again, the second should be price. The price point should be from the again perspective of the customers, from the group of the customers that we are targeting. If we are targeting a higher income customer, the price should not be an issue. But if we are targeting medium income customer or low income customer, they are very much price sensitive. So accordingly, we should keep our prices according to that. Place is another thing that we should maintain, like from where we should launch our product. Should it be available in the offline store, or should it be available in the online store, or it should be available both where? And product, yes, sir.
Okay. What do you understand by corporate governance?
Corporate governance is basically how to manage overall organization in a organization, so that we can achieve everything. We can run entire organization in a very efficient and structured manner.
Okay. What is difference between inspection and audit?
Inspection is basically going through the entire working of the bank, what they are doing right, what they are doing wrong. And audit is something in which they go through the balance sheet of the bank, including the P&L of the bank, and they if they find any anomalies, they can highlight in that audit.
Balance sheet. Who are the parties interested in balance sheet?
Balance sheet, mainly the stakeholders of the company.
Who are the stakeholders?
So main stakeholders will be the customers, investors, and shareholders. So they are mainly interested in looking at the balance sheet of the company, how the companies are performing.
Okay. What is the difference between inspection and audit? What is audit?
So audit is going through each and every entries in the balance sheet, and
Transaction-wise,
yes, sir,
okay.
transaction wise.
Correct. Sir.
Actually, you are working on understanding and you have written कि आप उसमें कुछ basically for procedures को या इस तरीके से आप improvement लाना चाहते हैं, which will improve the productivity and save the manpower and improve
Yes,
the
sir.
productivity of the
Yes, sir.
Okay. Any particular project you have undertaken and you have achieved the
Yes, sir.
stated objective?
Yes, sir. Till now, I have worked on 3 projects. So, in which one was the mid-tier IT firm having revenue of like $1.5 billion.
Tell in some just one project. Tell in just detail.
Yes,
Slight
sir.
Details.
I am focusing on that project only. So, in that project, we were able to save the cost of around 80 million rupees gross wise in a year.
But what it was doing,
Yes,
and
sir.
what did you
So-
do to improve the productivity or to improve the profit?
There were many metrics, but I will focus on just one for the sake of time. So we were focusing on improving the utilization of the company. Like suppose a particular person is employed in a company, how much time that person is working in a project, and how much time he is ideally sitting on the bench. So we were looking at each and every person's entry, and we were going through why this person is not working on the bench, what skill set he have, what upskilling we should do to that person, and how we can bring more revenue per person in that company. So we were able to achieve 85% of the 85% utilization.
What you suggested for to make that for to gainfully utilize the
Yes.
service of that person.
So currently the companies were hiring more people
Okay.
according to the new skill set required. So we suggested that basis on the company were having forecast of the project that were coming and a kind of a skill set that was required in that project. We suggested that instead of hiring new people, you should upskill the old people and utilize those people who are currently in the organization.
Okay. And you did for EY or EY's clients?
Clients.
Client.
Yes.
Okay, good. Secondly, you stated that you wanted to join RBI because the governor has stated. Governor has stated it's okay. But could you identify at least one function or two functions of RBI in which you can contribute and you can bring improvement as you have done in the EY?
Yes, sir.
What are those functions?
So I can contribute in Department of Supervision. In that, again, data-driven decision making is the one of the important aspect. I have the knowledge of the latest AI tools. I have done multiple certifications.
Just hold on. What does the Department of Supervision do?
Department of Supervision go through the entire data of the bank, go through the entire regulatory and supervision process of supervision of the bank. They see how they are working, and if there is any anomaly in the bank, they can highlight that.
What is the function? What is regulation? What is supervision?
Sorry, sir.
What is the difference between regulation and supervision?
Regulation is regulation is implementing new policy or new law so that bank can work in a proper manner. Supervision is ensuring that bank are continuously following that.
Regulation is basically laying down the guidelines for the banks or for
Yes,
the
sir.
regulated entity to perform the work in a particular
Particular
manner according to these guidelines.
Correct, sir.
And supervision is to see whether these guidelines are being adhered to or not.
Yes, sir.
It is as simple as that. But इसमें data point कहाँ से आ गया जो आपने identify किया?
Yes, sir. In Department of Supervision also, there can be certain aspect like we may not know that there can be certain things which can be wrong in an organization, but from the data we can have that forecast earlier. Suppose we collect data through Daksh and CIMS portal, so from that only we can see.
Any other department in which you can contribute effectively?
Yes, sir. I can contribute in customer. Department related to the customers. I'm not able to recall.
Okay. What are the main departments of RBI, main functions of RBI? Could you tell?
Yes, sir. Main functions of RBI include, first of all, it's act as a banker of bank. It prints and monitor the currency. It maintains the forex reserve also. Apart from that, it works on monetary stability, build the work, give the guidelines for monetary policies and all. It also ensures that it also acts as a regulatory and supervisory body for the banks. It also acts as a bank for the government. Yes. It also ensures there is financial stability and financial inclusion in the entire country.
Have you heard about the monetary policy?
Yes,
monetary
sir.
Policy. Monetary policy committee you have heard about?
Yes, sir.
How many members are there in the monetary policy?
6 members are there in monetary policy. One is the RBI governor, and one is the one officer from the RBI, and 3 members are assigned from.
3 members, huh? 3 members from RBI, huh? So you just told only 2.
Yes, sir. One is the honorable governor, sir. Second is the one deputy governor who is responsible for monetary policy. Third is the one officer from the RBI who has been assigned.
Executive director.
Yes, sir.
Monetary policy. ED, executive director. Okay.
And
one governor, one deputy governor, and one executive director. Okay.
okay.
What are the? Have you heard of the repo rate?
Sorry, sir.
Repo rate.
Yes, sir.
What is the current repo rate?
Current repo rate is 5.25%.
And reverse repo?
Reverse repo rate is 3.25%.
Reverse repo 85%. No?
So- Sorry, sir.
Reverse repo 5%, no? 5%. Actually, just
You
see.
just check before going
Reverse repo.
for interview.
Yes, sir.
What are the
There
current
are
rates,
basically
different rates?
you concept the repo and reverse repo. Repo means at the rate at which we are borrowing to the, or which are lending, RBI is lending to the banks against securities.
Correct.
And reverse repo is at the rate at which the banks are depositing their surplus funds with the RBI.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है, so that has to be less than.
Yes.
Deposit rate कम होगा ना, lending rate से.
Yes, sir. That's what I googled just before. I think it's 3.25%.
3.25%. Actually, they are sometimes changing the rates also.
Yes.
So I think it is standing deposit facility they are calling out reverse repo rate. So that is why it is just 5%. Okay. A basically 25 basis point window is left. Okay.
Okay.
What is the CRR and SLR?
CRR is like 3%. SLR is 18% right now.
Why do we have CRR and SLR?
Sorry.
CRR SLR की जरूरत क्या है?
अच्छा, CRR in basically CRR and SLR required if in terms of emergency bank should have enough liquidity so that it can serve to the customer.
Actually, it acts as a hedge to protect the interest of the depositors of the banking system. At the same time, it also acts as a tool of the monetary policy.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Acha, have you heard about the UGC bill?
UGC bill right now. Yes, sir.
What are the selling features of this UGC bill?
Selling feature. The selling feature of this bill was to protect the minorities from any discrimination.
Minorities, okay.
Not minorities. I will apart from the upper caste, it aims to protect the people of OBC, SC, ST committee, women and person with disability.
Okay, that is true. That is the basic objective.
Yes, sir.
But what are the features? So how these objectives will be achieved?
So according to this, person belonging to these community can anytime file a complaint against any people who are from upper community and doing the discrimination. So many a times it may happen the person may have the inner biases.
Well, that is a separate thing. Let us not enter into that. But who will handle these complaints? Who will look into these complaints?
So these to look into these complaints, board was recommended in which the representative from each of the community should be there.
Equity committee.
Yes, sir.
Equity committee. The representative will have representation from SC, ST, OBC, and so then any other feature of this equity committee or complaint handling system?
I'm not aware right now, sir.
Actually, it has to be acknowledged within 24 hours, and it should be disposed of in a time-bound manner within 15 days. Okay. And online, ठीक है. Tariff. You are from IIM. You
Yes,
must be
sir.
having some fair knowledge of the current affairs.
Yes, sir.
At present, we are facing tariffs from the US administration on our export to that country.
Correct, sir.
Tell something about the tariffs
So
which have been imposed on our export of goods to that country.
So US has earlier imposed 25% tariff on basis of perception that India is imposing too much tariff on the US goods. But later on, it also imposed 25% additional tariff. So by saying that we are importing more Russian oil, so we are fueling the war economy. So in order to do that, US imposed additional 25% tariff. The total tariff is like 50% on Indian goods due to.
You tell me one thing, that this because India is imposing tariff, that is why counter tariff have been imposed by the US administration on our goods, on the import of goods from India?
Yes.
Or is it only India or any or other countries also on which this 25% tariff have been imposed?
Yes, sir. This tariff was imposed on China also, apart from India.
What are the common feature of these countries which they had, because of which the US imposed tariffs?
So the common connection was they were in ally with the Russia. and also the one of the major growing
No,
economy.
they were running major trade imbalance with the US.
Okay.
They were exporting more and importing less. from
Importing
the
less,
US.
okay.
That is why it was improved.
Okay, got it.
Have some study about this tariffs.
Okay, I will look after this, sir.
So conclude कर सकते हैं.
Mm-hmm. Okay, now coming back to feedback, please note down.
Yes, sir.
Since you are from IIM, expectation of interview board will be much higher than other person. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Number one, you should always listen the question peacefully and then think over it why that particular question has been asked to you and give specific replies. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Your answer should be very specific. Correct?
Got it.
Number one. Number two, since you are a student of management, principle of management, you should carefully go through it.
Yes, sir. I will go through that.
Principles of management, principles of marketing, and in detail, what is corporate governance?
Okay, sir.
And banking ombudsman, complaint mechanism. You were talking about data, na?
Yes, sir.
What is banking ombudsman scheme?
Which scheme, sir? Sorry, banking.
Banking ombudsman scheme.
Ombudsman.
Ombudsman scheme, you can say.
Okay, sir.
What is that scheme? Do you know it?
No, sir. I'm not aware
Hmm.
about this.
It is a complaint redressal mechanism.
Okay.
Every bank has to formulate their own banking ombudsman system.
Okay, I will go through this.
Internal banking ombudsman and RBI banking ombudsman. करेक्ट
Okay.
इसको न्यूज़पेपर में आता है बड़ा डिटेल में, वो जरा आप पढ़ लेना उसको.
Okay, sir.
करंट इसमें कुछ चेंजेस हुआ है वो भी देख लेना. ठीक है. अब अगर किसी को ये 3 चीज़ें हैं जिनके अगेंस्ट एक कंप्लेंट नहीं की जा सकती. नंबर 1 फ्रॉड. अगर फ्रॉड है तो उसकी कंप्लेंट पुलिस अथॉरिटी को, साइबर क्राइम सेल. ठीक है. अगर स्टाफ का मिसबिहेवियर है तो उसकी कंप्लेंट आरबीआई को नहीं जाती, वो उनका डोमेस्टिक इंक्वायरी, इंटरनल मैनेजमेंट. ठीक है. एंड थर्ड वन इज नॉन सैंक्शनिंग ऑफ लोन. वो उसकी कंप्लेंट नहीं कर सकते हैं क्योंकि दैट इज कॉमर्शियल जजमेंट ऑफ दैट पर्टिकुलर बैंक. ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
ये एक स्पेसिफिक चीज़ें हैं. यहाँ पे लोग जो है ठीक उनको क्लियरिटी नहीं है पूरी.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है.
I will
ये
go through.
देखना है. और जो है हाँ, यहाँ आपने जो काम किया है,
Mm-hmm.
ठीक है, हाँ, उसमें आपकी अचीवमेंट क्या है?
Okay.
व्हाट आर योर अचीवमेंट इन दोज बोथ ऑर्गेनाइजेशन?
Hmm.
करेक्ट.
Okay.
एंड व्हाट विल बी योर ऑब्जेक्टिव? व्हाट आर योर ऑब्जेक्टिव फॉर ज्वाइनिंग ग्रेड बी ऑफिसर
Okay.
इन आरबीआई?
Okay.
ठीक है. इन चीज़ों पे आप काम करो. एनीथिंग एल्स?
हाँ, एक तो मैं जो आप कह रहे थे रिवर्स रिपो, अर्लियर इट वाज कॉल्ड रिवर्स रिपो, नाउ इट इज कॉल्ड स्टैंडिंग डिपॉजिट फैसिलिटी. तो एक्चुअली उसमें जो डिपॉजिट ले सकते हो उससे, तो वो 5% और 5.25% है.
Okay.
रिवर्स रिपो जो है वो 3.35 है.
Okay.
करेक्शन वाले. ठीक है.
करंट रेट देख लेना जब इंटरव्यू पे जाओ ना वो तब.
करंट रेट. दूसरी बात है,
अच्छा, एक ये आरबीआई की वेबसाइट आपने जरूर
जरूर
चेक
देखना.
करनी
Okay. Yes,
जाते
sir.
टाइम.
ठीक है. और उसके अलावा जो करंट, जैसे आपको यू आर फ्रॉम आईआईएम,
Yes, sir.
आपके करंट अफेयर्स की जानकारी या करंट इनके बारे में अवेयरनेस पक्की होनी चाहिए.
Okay,
करंट अफेयर पर्टिकुलरली परटेनिंग टू फाइनेंस
फाइनेंस और ये
sector.
और जैसे ट्रम टैरिफ है,
बजट आएगा,
बजट
इकोनॉमिक
आएगा,
सर्वे है.
Yes, sir.
यूजीसी बिल है, ये जैसे करंट अफेयर्स हैं, इन पे जरूर सवाल पूछे जाएंगे आपसे जाते. ठीक है.
Yes, sir.
तो बस ठीक है.
ठीक है.
Thank you, sir.
Okay. Good luck.
Sir, may I ask something?
हाँ बोलो ना.
Sir, जैसे I'm very much confused about how I should answer why RBI. So can you help me in that?
तो why RBI? तुम बताओ ना क्यों RBI?
So, according to my answer, so I want to join RBI because in EY I have been working on improving the profitability of one particular company.
Okay.
But in RBI I can focus on the benefits of the large people instead
will
of
be
focusing
macro
on the
level
better
things.
level. Yes, sir. And also my growth and learnings will be much higher. What I will be
भाई ये तो कभी किसी भी स्कीम में होगी, ये तो बहुत जनरल सा जवाब है.
Yes,
ये
sir.
स्पेसिफिक ना क्यों सर? बहुत जनरल है. किसी भी कंपनी में तुमने इतना सीखा ना भाई, कोई भी सवाल पूछेगा तुम्हें E&Y में इतना अच्छा काम तुम खुद कह रहे हो तुमने किया. इट इज ए लर्निंग,
yes, sir.
है ना.
और-
पर आप स्पेसिफिक बताओ कि RBI ये काम करता है, मुझे अच्छा लग रहा है. जैसे लार्जर
मैं
गुड के
इस
लिए
एरिया में कंट्रीब्यूट कर
सकता हूँ.
Yes,
लार्जर
sir.
गुड ये तो सभी में हो सकता है. आप किसी में भी काम करो, आप इट विल लर्निंग. E&Y इज अ वेरी गुड कंपनी. इनफैक्ट ये तो मल्टीनेशनल कंपनी है, टॉप 4 और 3 में. उससे आप RBI में आना चाहते हो.
Yes,
ये तो
ठीक है.
हाँ, ठीक है, वो ठीक है, लेकिन यू मस्ट बी एबल टू जस्टिफाई इट विद प्रॉपर आंसर. दैट इज माय
Yes, sir.
वो सोचो आप क्या सोच सकते
Okay.
जैसे वो प्राइवेट है ना. आरबीआई में जो
हो.
सिक्योरिटी पॉइंट ऑफ जॉब सिक्योरिटी
जॉब सिक्योरिटी है.
प्रॉपर कैरियर ग्रोथ प्लान इज देयर,
और
ना. पॉलिसीज, इंटरनल पॉलिसीज, प्रमोशन का, सेल्फ डेवलपमेंट का, वो सब सेट है ना. वो प्राइवेट में ऐसा नहीं है. तो ऑल दीज फैक्टर्स आर देयर. व्हाई आरबीआई?
पेंशन कभी इश्यू होता है.
Also, can I relate something like that? If I have further, so I'm thinking to further pursue my education and
yes.
have
हाँ, ये भी
PhD.
सही है.
हाँ.
आप बिल्कुल RBI एनकरेज करता है
हाँ.
कि यू गो फॉर दिस.
And
अगर
RBI
आपने
is the-
अगर आप में मटेरियल है, आप पढ़ना चाहते हो, RBI विल फाइनेंस योर डिस्टेंट एजुकेशन. इनफैक्ट ऑनलाइन ऑन साइट वो भी कराता है. डिप्लोमा इन बिजनेस फाइनेंस कराता है NIBM के साथ.
So, can I go through
हाँ,
that
yes.
line?
ये कहो क्या कहते हैं आप, क्योंकि मैं पढ़ना चाहता हूँ. और वो बिकॉज द डिफरेंस बिटवीन द E&Y and RBI, why RBI is better for you or you think better than E&Y, it should come out clearly.
Okay.
5-6 रीजंस
Five,
उसके.
six reason आपके पास होने चाहिए.
Clear.
और जनरल नहीं होने चाहिए.
Yes, sir. I got it.
यार भाई ये काम करता है, इससे लार्जर गुड हो रहा है पब्लिक का. E&Y करता है वो प्रॉफिट के लिए करता है.
Profit के
प्रॉफिट
लिए.
बाहर जाता है.
Correct.
इट इज अ फॉरेन कंपनी.
Foreign company. Right, sir.
दैट इज
ठीक है.
Okay. Got it, sir.
एनीथिंग एल्स?
हाँ, ये आम आदमी के लिए काम करता है, और वो बड़े क्लाइंट्स के लिए काम करता है.
Yes, sir.
ओके, बेस्ट ऑफ लक.
Thank you very much, sir. Thank you very much, sir.
Good luck.